What's the difference between tracking calories or tracking food versus intuitive eating? So tracking calories, tracking food means that you are literally taking everything that you're taking in and measuring it in some capacity. So that can be putting food onto a food scale so you can understand how many grams are in that. That could be using measuring cups to measure certain volumes of food that you're taking in. But what it is you're basically taking that information you're gaining and then putting it into something such as MyFitnessPal, which will then take those grams that you took in of a certain food. So let's say I weigh out a banana and I say it's 100 grams. I put that into MyFitnessPal. That's going to populate with the amount of calories and the macros from that. So what I'm doing by tracking all of my food is I'm understanding exactly how much I'm taking in terms of total calories and in terms of macronutrients, carbs, fats, and proteins. The reason that people find amazing success with this is we can figure out how many calories you need to maintain your current body weight, and then we can do some math to figure out, do we want to be in a calorie deficit, do we want to be above? So basically we can come up with a total calorie and a protein target, and then from there what we can do is we can track our food and plan ahead of time so we hit the number we want to hit. And it essentially guarantees that you're going to accomplish your goal. So if the goal is fat loss, which for most people that's usually the goal, is if you need to be, say 2,000 calories is your maintenance, if you want to be at 1,750, so you're in a calorie deficit, you can track your food and know with 100% certainty that you're coming out, or 95% certainty, that you're coming out at 1,750, which means over time you're going to be losing body fat because you're not taking in as many calories as your body's expending day in, day out. The cool thing with that as well is it then absolves you of some of the angst or questioning whether you're doing it correctly or not. Because if the scale, if you're using body weight, so if the scale isn't moving relative to the calories, we just make a simple adjustment and the scale will start moving again. It's truly that simple. However, on the other side, while it can guarantee results, on the other side, not everybody wants to walk around with a food scale tracking their food and monitoring all the time. So that's where you enter intuitive eating. Intuitive eating is the other side, where you're essentially aware of the amount of food you need to take in, and you make educated guesses as to how to do that. Typically, for most people, I find they find success when there's some sort of parameter around how to do that. So a couple of ways that I encourage people to do is the 1-2-3 method, which is essentially for one meal, eat a big salad. Have some protein on it, but eat a big salad. That's the main part of that is your meal. The 2 of the equation is eat 2 different pieces of fruit throughout the day. So your snack would be fruit. And then you drink 3 bottles of water. The other way you can do that is 3 plates, 2 snacks. So you can have 3 plates, so breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Basically, you don't go back for seconds. You fill your plate. You make sure that you prioritize having a protein on that. Then you prioritize having veggies, and the rest can be whatever you would like, but it's 1 normal plate. And then your 2 snacks throughout the day would either be a piece of fruit or a protein. And those would be, smaller sizes, something that would fit in like the palm of your hand. And basically what that is it's a way of providing guardrails that keep you on the path to success. So there's variability in, you might take in 300 extra calories or 300 fewer calories than you would if you were tracking accurately, but it gives you the freedom to feel like you can still go out into the world, be with your friends, be with your family, eat as you want to, while still working towards the longer vision of what your goal is. So 2 very different approaches, yet they accomplish largely the same thing. Oftentimes, though, I will encourage people to track for a little while first, weigh and measure their food, because then you can make intuitive decisions based on hard facts instead of just trying to eat better, but not having an understanding as to exactly how much you need to elicit the response you're looking for. So there we go, the difference between tracking and intuitive eating.